the best immigration attorney I know, Joseph Patrick Murphy, who joins us. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
I'm well, Marty. Nice to see you.
So that whole scenario that exploded has calmed down, and the diner folks are backing off. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, that's the last call we had about this. I think maybe it's the right decision. We don't know. I haven't done much of the legal analysis. It does sound like a civil rights violation. The business owner saying, look, stop, you're not allowed in here. No warrant. Again, you look at the damages, no harm, no foul, an arrest. Nobody got killed. Nobody got hurt. So, maybe it's not worth pursuing. And I think that's where this is going to go.
And I think you've reiterated this point 1,000 times. The law is the law. And if you're illegal, they're trying to take you out right now. That's it.
They are. And it's getting more hostile toward, so to speak, illegals every day. The government, since probably August, has had a series of very shocking wins in immigration court at the Board of Immigration Appeals. A whole categories of people who used to be allowed to stay here while they were working on their status, they're taking that away.
Oh, wow.
Special immigrant juveniles,
oh, wow.
victims of victims of crime. They would historically let them stay here because the government needed them to prosecute crimes. They're witnesses, they're victims, they have to testify and say, yeah, that's the guy who got me. Now they don't care. If you don't have a visa immediately available or already have a green card, they're not going to let you wait here in the United States, living, working, having a good time. That was the whole problem with Luis. He was qualified. He had an approved special immigrant juvenile petition. And according to the visa bulletin, he was something like 45 days from being eligible to get a green card, and they would not wait.
By the way, Luis is this wonderful young man, roofing company, wife, baby, who gets snatched up.
He's also...
Right?
Yep. He's also here. He's actually in the office right now. He happened to be stopped in today. I'm going to invite him to come over and say hi.
Do it.
Come on over, guys.
Do it.
So this is Luis and Ian are here.
Oh, my God.
There's Luis and
There's
Ian.
Luis.
And they stopped in on an unrelated matter. I said, hey, maybe I'll go on Marty and he could say hi. And we're talking to Luis about what help you were. Put the pressure on the radio and political pressure helping us get this kid released.
But what is his status right now, though? What is his status?
He's out on bail.
Okay.
And he's got an appeal of that deportation order. They needed, for whatever reason, to dirty this kid up. So close to that visa coming up. I suspect it'll come up in the fall. When it does, we're going to move to have the case sent back to immigration court for reconsideration of that order of deportation, now in light of the fact that he's immediately eligible to adjust. When they get it back there, we're going to file for a green card with the judge, and she'll bang the hammer, and he'll get his green card.
Ian, how important has this media pressure meant to get him out of jail and get him on the right path? How much has it meant to you, too?
I mean, I know it's meant the world to us, and again, sometimes when there's some extra accountability involved, the right thing happens. So we are more than appreciative.
And I know your dad, as you know, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, he's a big fan of you, and I know you're a big fan of him, so it goes a long way.
And are you guys working?
Yeah, we're starting to. We're trying to figure some of that out now, and make sure that Luis is operating legally and doing the right thing. So, yeah.
One of the problems is along the process, they took away his work permit. So it's like, what do you want this guy to do, right? He's got to wait out this time, and they did everything they could to make it unpleasant for him. It's really, this is what you were getting to earlier. And I'm going to let the guys go because they just stopped in to say hi.
Yeah.
Thanks, Marty.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Thanks. Adios.
They're not as used to the television as I am, but this is the kind of mean-spirited what we're talking about. They want to make everything so unpleasant so people will self-deport. Right? I once compared it to that movie Hunt for Red October, where Alec Baldwin convinces the people that there's a nuclear accident on the submarine.
I remember.
To get him to get off voluntarily without having to chase him. So that's what we've got here. They've taken away statuses.
But you've been very clear about this. That's the way it is. Accept it and move on. Go home or fight it. But it's very clear.
Right.
They're being very aggressive, sir.
Right. Well, I'm not a politician, at least not right now. I'm a lawyer working in the system. My brothers and sisters that handle traffic tickets, they don't argue about what the speed limit should be. They argue about whether their client violated it or not. Okay. What I find here, and the part that is getting under my skin and pretty much everybody else's skin, is they're changing the speed limit after my clients have already driven down the road.
Oh, okay.
These are people that came and were
No,
counseled
you're right.
by lawyers that the government, the various U.S. state governments gave licenses
You're right.
and said,
You're right.
these guys are smart enough and ethical enough that you can part with money to get advice. And we advised them on what the law is. People made decisions about where they were living, who they'd marry, whether they'd buy real estate,
Sure.
all sorts of things. And after the fact, you change the rules.
Sure.
That's a bit much. That's last time around. There was a lawsuit against them in something called ASAP, Asylum Seeker Advocacy Project, because they changed the rules about asylum after people had already filed. And you may see more of that coming up. I think this latest rule about having to go home to get your green card, I think that's a big fat target
Wow.
for litigation.
Wow.
Yeah.
Joseph Patrick Murphy, there's a fine Irishman. Thanks, my man. It's great stuff. Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, Marty. Thanks for having me on.
He's
Bye-bye.
fantastic. Always, always truth to power.